I hadn't gone to church for 2 years, from age 15 to 17. And my folks came back from church on March 15th, 1938, and told me that my best friend had accepted Christ the night before, and that I ought to go and hear this special speaker. As a result, I was angry. Boy, I was mad as a hatter. What in the world did he do a stupid thing like that for? I was really upset. I cannot remember one thing that happened between how I got from being angry and mad to sitting in that service at 7:30, and at 8:30 I couldn't wait to accept Christ as my Savior, which I did. 6 days later, I'm standing on a soapbox in one of Detroit's leading parks giving my testimony. I transferred from Wheaton College, and a man by the name of Stacy Woods approached me, and I knew of him because he was a family friend, and said that they were starting an InterVarsity. I arrived there in September of '41, and Stacy approached me and says, "We've got this new organization going, and I'd like you to consider prayerfully leading that organization." And I accepted. I just felt it was the Lord's will, and so I accepted it. And we began simply with about 50 students and met every Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and brought in special speakers, mostly local pastors. During that period of time, we became burdened for the student body at University of Michigan. And we thought, well, what could we do? Dr. Free at Wheaton College was the archaeologist there, my favorite professor. And boy, he'd make a good speaker to bring here. I remember that much. But what I don't remember is how we got the other two speakers, and they had to be from Stacy Woods because he got the professor of philosophy from University of Minnesota, and he got a theologian from Princeton Seminary. So we thought we could advertise it and get Rackham Lecture Hall, which held 1,000 people. We set up probably a dozen or more typewriters, and we got the list of all of the students in the university, and we printed out 25,000 invitations to these 3 lectures. Well, as a result, when the lectures went off a month apart, we packed that 1,000-seat auditorium for three lectures in a row in 3 months. The next year, we said we'd like to do it again, but we're not going to go for 3. So we went to Dr. Blakeman, who was the head of the religious organization, the religious department at the University of Michigan. He says, "No way are you going to be able to use that auditorium again." So I decided that we'd go to the horse's mouth. We'd go right to the president of the university. Well, here I am, a sophomore at the University of Michigan, getting an appointment with the university president, Dr. Alexander Ruthven. Got the appointment right away. So the night before the appointment, we prayed all night. First time I'd ever prayed all night. And we had an appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. And we walked into his office, gorgeous office. I'd never seen an office so beautiful in all my life. And he's sitting behind this big oak desk. He said, "How come you fellas didn't go to the Ohio State game today?" He says, "I'll never go to another Ohio State game." Well, I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "I couldn't handle how our students were carrying on. Just couldn't handle it." I said, "Well, Dr. Ruthven, that's sort of what we came to talk about." He says, "You did?" I said, "What is it you want to talk about?" I said, "Well, we would like to bring a speaker, Dr. Harold Ockengay, Park Street Congregational Church. Outstanding speaker." He said, "What's your problem?" "Well, we wanted Rackham Lecture Hall, which we had last year 3 times and filled it 3 times, but Dr. Blakeman wouldn't want us to have it again." He says, "You go to Dr. Blakeman and say that Dr. Ruthven says you can have it." I think the deal at Michigan, how could you not be fearless after that? After you been to the president of the university and all the rest of it and see God work the whole thing out. Why? How can you be afraid anymore? It made me fearless as a Christian. And it's remained with me all of these years, even till today.